All right, we are live and we have quite a few people joining from the BankSocial team. Super exciting. I am going to give it a few more minutes, but I wanted to remind everybody that's tuned into the live stream to please submit your questions either through chat or you can send them directly through DMs. We would love for you to come on stage too. So if you'd like to, just DM us and let us know. And as we're waiting, oh my gosh, we have like a full house. This is awesome. Hey, everybody. I love this. So
Everyone.
maybe we can go through really quick and everybody introduce themselves. I know the community is familiar with all of these faces, but if you guys can just go around and say hi, who would like to start? Becky?
Becky, you start.
Oh, Liz?
Okay, so I'm Becky Reed. I am the Chief Operating Officer here at BankSocial, and of course, former credit union CEO and Truckee Becky.
I'm Liz Minger. I'm EVP of Growth and Innovation here at BankSocial. And I don't have a cool name like Becky does on X. But Nate, I was wondering if both you and Arturo have this great background.
Yeah, we're hanging out at the same spot today.
Did I miss the memo?
Hey everyone, I'm Nathaniel Odell. Been here with BankSocial since the beginning. So been really fun to experience this journey with you all. Worn a lot of hats here, but currently working with customer support and customer experience. Arturo, what the heck?
And Justin, we can't hear you.
I just switched to a much better background.
You got it. You got it.
Oh, am I audible?
Dallas, you're the Dallas background now.
I'm in Dallas now. It's been 4 months, so I'm Arturo Maltos. I'm part of the engineering team. As part of the team of engineering, glad to be here.
Justin. Oh, we can't hear you. Uh-oh, don't you hate that when that happens?
I know. Well, Justin, we'll give you a second. But again, make sure you guys are sending in any comments or questions. We're going to cover a lot of really great stuff. John will be on in just a second as well. He's in Mexico, which is amazing. He'll update us on that. But there's been a few things that you guys have probably heard about. So we're going to cover the staking updates that came through Solana that's coming soon, as well as stocks. There's also some news about the delegates that we're going to go over. And then, Justin, did I just hear you?
Is it working now?
Yeah. Yay.
Sorry to interrupt. Justin Hansen, Director of Asset Protection and Government Liaison for the company, just trying to keep everyone safe out there in the crypto world.
Love it. This is amazing. So, Justin, we're probably going to come to you also, just so you can give us a few updates. But yeah, we also have some questions that have come through our verified chat. That's another way that you can send over questions. So just want to remind everybody, that's a great way to send them through. I guess, let's talk about like some of the exciting stuff that's happened this week. There's been some really cool updates with some of the credit unions we're working with and some of the things that are going live soon. Becky or Liz, do you guys want to kind of share with the community and tell them a little bit about that?
Wow, it has just been a whirlwind, as you guys can imagine. BankSocial has really spent the last couple of years, but last year especially, really getting out there in the credit union and the banking space, but mostly the credit union space because that's where I'm from. Getting to know people, getting people to know us. And once the landscape changed in Washington around its view on crypto, and then the Genius Act passed, everybody has been reaching out. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you see that I have started a stablecoin series where I really explain use cases for financial institutions, how they might be able to use a stablecoin. Also have been on the speaking circuit. I will be out, over the next 3 months. I'm probably speaking at 10 different events, whether they're public events or private events. People are really reaching out to do that. John actually is speaking at an event today, so both of us get those speaking events that happen. So yeah, very, very exciting. Lots of interest. As you guys know, we have a stablecoin. We issued it or we founded it in 2022. And it actually is already compliant with the Genius Act as it was drafted, which is really awesome. Those of you who get staking rewards, you get them in the Rivia stablecoin token. So it's already being out there and used in the community, which is very exciting. But yes, our stocks is going to be coming soon, so that is awesome. Adding additional tokens to the wallet is XRP has been a smashing success. Solana is coming next, so growing by leaps and bounds.
Amazing. So quick question. A lot of people have asked about Rivia, and of course, people that have been here like day one, they know what it is, but can you kind of tell us a little bit about our stablecoin and especially like how early that came about?
Sure. So John and I launched the Rivia stablecoin in October of 2022. We felt then very strongly that stablecoins should be backed by fiat 1-for-1. And we chose to put the deposits backing the Rivia token into multiple credit unions. So then we're diversifying the proof of reserve accounts by putting them in multiple credit unions. So decentralizing the deposits, so to speak, so that they're all not in one financial institution or just a very few from a concentration risk perspective. So the Rivia token is built on Hedera, was always built on Hedera before they even had the stablecoin studio. We built the token on the Hedera platform. Of course, we love Hedera for multiple reasons, but especially because the transaction fees on Hedera are stable. They are fixed and they are in US dollars. And of course, the Hedera network is very fast. They are carbon neutral. And so that was why we chose to build the Rivia stablecoin on Hedera.
So speaking about that and a little bit about what makes BankSocial unique. So
RUSD is what it's called, Rivia. I see what's the Rivia token ID. It's little r USD.
Okay, perfect. And then right now, as it stands, what are the use cases or what can we look forward to as the use cases for our wallet and stablecoin?
So I don't have to take all these questions. Is anybody, Nate, you're a crypto guy. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's so many uses for RUSD, and we might not even be telling the community all of them right now. But as Becky mentioned, it is a great way to earn BSL staking rewards, and there is a pool on SaucerSwap that is RUSD to USDC on Hedera. So make sure to go check that out if you're ever wondering what to do with your RUSD. Easy transaction right there. And I will get you the Rivia token ID, Ruggie. I don't know if I can type into the chat, but I think he's looking for the specific token ID.
Perfect. And then, I don't know if you guys can see some of the real-time questions that are coming through, but as far as like lending, payments, generating a lead, some yield, some of this stuff may be future, but I mean, can we touch on any of that? Nate, maybe? Or Becky?
The utility token question. Do you see that? If you don't, I can answer it. On the side from Corey.
Yeah, so right now, we want to be careful with what we say, of course, but primarily you can stake your BSL for rewards to participate in the DAO lending. So the BSL DAO is doing asset-backed loans, and anyone can apply at loans.banksocial.io. And when the interest is paid back from those loans, it is distributed in BSL, a small portion of BSL and RUSD to BSL stakers. So that is the current utility, and I know that we've floated other utilities. Definitely let John handle those, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of get you to the main utility there.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So there were some, we'll keep taking questions as well live. Thank you guys for sending them in as we're going. Oh, Becky, there's a question for you here. What other crypto related bills are in focus for the team this year, and how does the team plan on approaching this?
Yep. So the Clarity Act is up next, and so the Genius Act really was around stablecoin. The Genius Act specifically calls its definition of a stablecoin as a payment token. So it's really gearing up to utilize stablecoins for payments here in the United States. So using DLT rails to use it for payments, which is something that BankSocial has always felt like was a perfect use case for a stablecoin. And so that is very exciting. But the Clarity Act, so I see John kind of coming on there, sort of a little choppy, but his internet may not be great there. But the Clarity Act is really more about what regulations apply to the crypto space. So that is going to be coming soon. I'm not familiar with any that are close to being presented on the congressional floor, but we are, of course, very engaged with a lot of our regulators, and so we will keep you guys abreast of what might be coming down the pipeline as it relates to regulatory or legislative activities. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up? I just got off stage. There's like no
I
internet
know.
here.
It worked.
Well, we can see you.
We can see you, John. So yeah, John's in Mexico right now, as some of you might have seen. And we're going to kind of go over. John, can you hear us? Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, we were kind of going through some of the live questions, but we wanted to jump into some of the cool things that have happened this week, really highlighting like staking updates that you mentioned, Solana, stocks coming soon, some of the delegate updates. And then maybe you could just touch on, before you lose reception, where you are right now and kind of what's going on over there.
So yeah, we're at the biggest stablecoin and crypto conference in Latin America right now, and just got off stage talking about how we're facilitating international liquidity with banks in America, credit unions in America, and then of course the financial institutions and the people that we support. Some people around me right now, so I can't be too loud, but yeah, it was a really exciting conversation. There was a lot of excitement around this becoming more than just a discussion around what chain to use or why Bitcoin is the best or why Polygon is the best, but more now you're seeing the transition into discussion about use cases. And the kind of the best way I think I can explain it is, when you go to a finance conference nowadays, you don't talk about what database is being used and, oh, we're using SQL Server. Oh, we're using, DB2. Those discussions aren't being had anymore. What you're talking about are the use cases that are impacting people. And that's what this stablecoin conference was about, is how these new rails. I was able to talk to a gentleman around how, Becky, with the couple of the really cool pilots that we have going on. One specifically was the tokenized loan stuff that we've been talking about. And this gentleman was quite keen on creating an insurance type product that was tied to things like reverse mortgages, where we could tokenize mortgages. Think about, and I said this on stage, think about being able to pay for a coffee with your house, with a fractionalized component of your house. And these are, look, I'm not saying that that's ready to go and it'll be here tomorrow, but certainly, Becky, I mean, these are the things that we're working on, and these are the things that our financial institutions are fully embracing, right? And how do we extend that into things like insurance? So how do people actually own these rails? How do they leverage their assets in more real time with outcomes that impact their lives in a positive way, right? And how do we do that in a manner that is ultimately regulatory compliant, that's safe and sound, and that does both, provides both the financial access, the financial impact, as well as the regulatory compliance, safety, and soundness that needs to come from these types of new mechanisms coming to life.
Nice.
Sorry, Sarah. That was a lot to say right there. I know there's a lot of questions about some of the stuff we were doing. Yes, Solana is about to launch. Do we have a timeline on that? I know I saw it working in the app the other day. Nate, do you know when that?
Soon.
So,
When WWEN, not the regular
It is
when.
soon.
But yeah, we've got Solana coming and all the tokens on Solana. And remember, this is all self custody. It's going to be in the banking apps as well. So everybody I was actually talking to one of the big XRP voices in the space, and he showed me one of our wallets at one of our financial institutions, and he was like, I know, I have all my XRP there. So it's very exciting. I think mashing up the traditional financial space with the DeFi space, and then providing for these new ideas to come to fruition, where it's not just about just holding Bitcoin or just holding Solana, but how do we create a melding of the two, where our information, the data, and the interoperability of data, whether that's identities, whether that's assets, whether that's money movement, whether that's stocks. We talked about that, right? So we're actually working on. Oh, did you guys? Am I back?
Oh, there, you're back. No, you're back.
Am I back?
We can hear you
Yes.
fine.
Maybe not. Maybe he can't hear us
It
though.
was the perfect cliffhanger.
I know he's just about to drop some alpha, and
Can you guys hear me? Am I back?
yeah.
yeah, we
Okay.
hear you.
So yeah, we talked about stocks. You guys brought up stocks. Can you still hear me? Perfect. All right.
Yes.
So we brought up stocks, and one of the really cool things that we're doing with stocks, as a registered with the SEC now, we're finalizing a few things there. But what we're going to be able to do, maybe I think the first to do, which is also really exciting, is allow for you in the BankSocial app to buy, trade, sell not only crypto but stocks, and then also for you to be able to port those stocks without selling them into your favorite financial institution, namely the institutions that we have our embedded wallet in. And so these are really the beginnings of the open banking movement starting to actually play out in real life with real world assets. The other cool thing about that is we're not just looking at some people are Solana, they love Solana. Some people love XRP. Some people love HBAR. And so why can't we, since our wallet works with all of them, and since our embedded wallet in the financial institution works with all of them, we can actually give you the option of which platform you want to tokenize those stocks on. Because to us, it doesn't really make a difference. You can just move them around in your wallet just like you would. And so we're really excited about a lot of the stuff that we're doing and a lot of the stuff that we're pioneering, because it's fundamentally shifting how not just people, but financial institutions are embracing and providing for these new mechanisms and these new outlets for inclusion, financial inclusivity, money movement, all the things we've been talking about.
Nice. And then, since John, we had a question about the carbon card, so I wanted to touch on that really quickly. Those are shipping out soon. I don't know if you have anything from the team that you guys want to share. We're really excited about that. And a few people have received their carbon card, but the rest are rolling out soon. There's a question though, John, about does it have daily limit or function as a debit card?
Yeah, no daily limit. So functions as a credit card. You'll be able to load crypto on it. You'll be able to use it just like you would a debit card. We're also looking at a credit product that will allow for credit issuance, so that you can actually get some small amount, small limit credit. But yeah, right now there's no limit on that card. The only limit is how much crypto you have, how much crypto you load it with. Of course, it requires KYC. It requires kind of all those same diligence things that we would have to do otherwise. But yeah, no limit on that.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm going to get to some questions, but I kind of wanted to go around and just see what everybody's really excited about right now, especially as we're going into some of these releases. So, Justin, I was going to kind of start with you and kind of tell us what you've been working on and what you're excited about.
Sure. Well, everyone knows Secura. We're helping as many people as we can that become victims, no matter what chain or what wallet or what exchange they lost funds on. Here at BankSocial, if they come to us, we help them trace those funds. We help try and freeze those funds. We help try and recover those funds back here in the United States or wherever the victims are. And that's what we're working on. And we unfortunately, we talked to a lot of victims throughout the week, and but we are doing God's work and getting some funds back to these victims and helping out as many people as we can. So, yeah, we keep building week by week the Secure program, and it's going really well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's something that we're going to be sharing more testimonials and real stories behind that. But it's one of the very exciting things that are happening over here. So, Justin, thank you for everything you do on that front. Nate, too. And Nate, what are you excited about? I'll kind of segue to you, if anything that you'd like to share.
Yeah, I do. So I mentioned that I am working with a dev team on improving customer experience. One small, but maybe not small thing to some people is that we are improving the Wallet Connect experience to Saucer Swap. So right now in the BankSocial app, if you're on the most recent update, you can go into the Discover section, click Saucer Swap, and then your app will ask you to automatically connect to Saucer Swap. So you don't have to worry about all the QR codes and the scanning, and you can just boom, connect right there. So that right now is live if you're in a state that the BankSocial exchange is live in, and then it's going to be rolling out for everyone else in the future too.
Amazing.
Yeah, actually, Nate, I think with that, we're actually going to roll that out because that doesn't, being able to swap your tokens is not something, since it's on the DEX, it's not something that really is under the control of BankSocial or any of our licensing. And so we'll be turning that feature on for everybody, and then we'll extend that to the other chains so that the major DEXs automatically connect in the app. So you can do swaps on these DEXs instantly and without having to really understand how Wallet Connect works, which is really an exciting thing.
Yeah, I've used it. It's sweet. It's really seamless. And then when you go to that site, and if you don't want to connect, all you just have to say is nope, don't want to connect, and you can browse.
Right. And that's also protected by Secure Essentials. So if anything happens with that site where any of the SSL certificates or anything funny happens, those AIs are working behind the scenes. So if you have Secure Essentials, just know that as you're connecting to DApps, those DApps are being scanned, whatever chain they're on. Certain elements of those apps are being scanned every single time. And I think, Nate, as you're connecting, you get a little AI notice with either a check mark or a risk profiling that tells you if you have Secure Essentials exactly what risk you're exposing yourself to. And that could be on, because it's happening active in real time, that could be on a site that's maybe been exposed or maybe been supply chain. We've seen a lot of supply chain injection hacks happening recently, like I'm not going to name chains, but you can go out and look, just supply chain hacks. And so we built Secure Essentials so that it could help. It doesn't eliminate these types of things, but it certainly helps in looking at things that you maybe don't have the experience to look at. SSL certs. Sometimes when these websites get changed over or get hacked or get infiltrated, there's certain elements that change on these sites that these AIs can protect you from and look at and give you a notice of, so that you're in the best position to mitigate those frauds and mitigate those issues that would otherwise come up, even on a healthy website. Forget going to a scam site altogether where it's not even a protocol that's recognized. But just generally, I think we also have upgraded our list of like the approved exchanges and places where you could send your funds to, right, Nate? So a lot of upgrades, to Justin's point, around how Secure Essentials. That's also tied in with Chainalysis. And so all this is happening behind the scenes to give you the most robust protection in the wallet that's available anywhere in Web3 today.
Love that. I think Arturo, this might segue into some of what John was talking about. What are you excited about? You're working on a lot of stuff that's coming soon. So you want to share with the community what you're most excited
I just
about?
want to make sure that nothing that I'm going to talk about is going to be revealed, because there is a big feature coming with the stocks, right, John?
That's right. I think you could talk about it, Arturo.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to expand even more the possibilities that we're going to have for credit unions. Not only having the possibility now to move money to crypto inside your bank, but also to invest in on stocks, and having the transfers between accounts on investments. That's going to be a plus. I mean, for banks, it's going to be a plus also because it's going to have an increase in customers' retention and loyalty. We talk about all those banks that are getting all the money moved into some other places where they can invest on crypto. So having all these three companies now in the same place, with all the trust you have on your bank and with all the technology that BankSocial is offering, and with all the convenience of having all that in the same place, I think it's going to be a really good plus. I don't know, John, if you want to talk more about that project, so I don't expand more details.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like he's coming and going on.
he might be coming back.
I keep getting called. People keep calling me back to back. Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah, we can.
So what I was thinking is that.
So yeah, I think that's exactly right, Arturo. You know, the expanded capabilities that are new. You know, really, we don't see it as an investing platform, but we do see it as you know, just an enhancement to the kind of tooling that members and consumers are experiencing out there in the wild, out there in your fintech ecosystems, enhancing those capabilities, but doing it in an all new way, in a way that connects community financial institutions, open banking, doing it in a way that really, we've talked to a lot of our credit union partners, and when we tell them what we're doing, it blows their mind, because you know, just the use case of somebody buying a stock in the BankSocial app or a crypto or whatever, and then being able to go open an account at one of our financial institution partners, and then to be able to, without selling those assets, transfer those assets right into their wallet in the credit union side or in the bank side, and then to sell those assets right into their bank account. That's not being done anywhere in the space right now. And so these are really the pioneering things that we're doing. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're also excited about it, Arturo.
Mm-hmm. This is really attractive for me, especially because, I mean, it's much better than having to deal with 3 different applications installed on your phone. All those delays between doing the transfer from one account to another, one place to another, having everything in the same place. And if you put on top of that all the security that we can provide, the work that Justin is doing, it's really attractive.
Yeah, and before I want to, there's a question about this. So, are we tokenizing stocks, or are we going to let people invest directly? So, I can take it, or
you want to answer that, Becky?
I'm like,
not to open too much details.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're not giving too much. But Becky, on the other hand, you know what we can say and we can't.
So yes, I will say that there's tokenization is part of the stock offering.
Okay, perfect. Well, so I want to move to Liz too, because Liz joined our team, and you know she's doing a lot of exciting things. I think everybody got to meet her last week, but I wanted Liz, you kind of talk about all of the exciting things that are happening on shared services and expanding with credit unions and reaching more members.
Yeah, for sure. First, last week, I think afterward, somebody reached out on on here and had said, "Were you just smiling the whole time because there were so many people?" And I said I was smiling the whole time because I had never seen the community, the BankSocial community, before, and especially in this format. And it was just very, it was like very emotional and heartwarming for me to see. And I was taking pictures along the way and sending them to credit union counterparts. I think I had mentioned that last week. So as much as so many people here last week were being inspired by credit unions and wanting to join credit unions and reach out to them and be a part of them and volunteer, you were also inspiring credit unions. And so this weekend we had a large conversation of credit union CEOs that were like, all right, I'll try it. Like they hadn't tried crypto. And so the team was messaging me and we were kind of walking through, here's what to do. Don't be afraid. Here's some tips. So that was a fun thing, like personally, that happened to me over the past week. And yes, we are pounding the pavement when it comes to sales in credit unions and in banks. And right now is a time of year where a lot of organizations are looking at their budgets and they're saying, what do we have left in our budget that we can use up? Or what are we looking for 2026? So what we're seeing is a lot of focus groups getting created. I think a lot of that is inspired by Becky and John out there in the community. And these focus groups within the financial institutions are looking for resources that can speak to the use cases of crypto, of stablecoin, and what they're going to be able to do with it. We just had a sales call this morning where they're pretty far along in the sales conversation, and they asked us, my executive team is having a really hard time finding use cases on how it's going to benefit our members. And so John was on and he was able to speak to hey, I was in the store and here's what I did. And so, we're building out more of those just so we can distribute them to our credit unions when they're looking for, like, I know I need to be a part of this. I know that we need to bring access to our members and our membership, but what does it really mean to those members when they're able to use this within our app? So a lot of development there. Sarah is crushing it on marketing, just to give a big shout out there. Today I got to see something that she had put together for kind of a go-to-market with our products. And I was like, this is going to be great for our credit unions to help understand. And then in shared resources, shared services. So we announced last week that we're joining forces with CU Books. So the integration with the two teams is what, integrating those two teams, as you can imagine, sometimes that can be difficult. This has really not been, their leadership and their team really aligns with the BankSocial team. And so we've had I think it's just been a really natural fit for us. And we're seeing a lot of interest in our current clients at BankSocial, who are interested in the CU Books products, and then CU Books clients who are very excited to hear about BankSocial. And I would say that every time I'm on these sales conversations, I am very excited to get to talk about you guys and how much you have really inspired me, just being in the credit union industry for a very long time. And yeah, just seeing what you guys are doing it's awesome. It's inspiring. So that's what's going on around here. We're never a dull moment, for sure.
I've got some alpha. We just officially got word from Played that we're going to be going live with Played here. I just recently got the email, so that's going to give us the ability to have bringing your money in from any bank, any financial institution that's on the network, so that we can give you access to all these really great tools with your existing financial institution. So that just happened. I just got that email right now. Very cool. Congratulations, everybody.
That's huge. And it's Plaid. There's an ongoing thing as if it's Played or Plaid, kind of like gift.
Yeah, Plaid. I call it Plaid.
It's Plaid.
Tomato.
It's gonna be Played for many people still.
People always call it Played, but it's Plaid. That's huge. That's amazing. So there's really big things coming. One of the things I wanted to touch on, if we can answer this. So I know we're going to be live in all states. Do we have like estimate kind of general timing? Can people reach
Yeah.
out? Okay.
Yeah. So we just got, I don't want to drop the name of what we're doing there, but we have several more really big partnerships. And I think people get confused. So I want to set the record straight here. When we say partnerships, like we announced the partnership with Google last year, and people just thought that that was us using Google Cloud and just paying for Google Cloud services. Yeah, no, that's not the kind of partnerships when we talk about, when we just pay for services, that's not really a partnership to us. So these partnerships we're talking about are really deep partnerships where we're engaged with their teams on providing, again, when we connect all these banks and financial institutions together, that's not just a service that you go on and turn on in some cloud SaaS product. It requires, due diligence. It requires compliance screening. It requires solutioning and architecting that are outside these normal SaaS flows. And so when we say, Plaid as a partner, did I say it right that time? Plaid? Got it. All
You
right, Plaid,
did.
be happy. We said it right. When we say Plaid is a partner, that means that we have gone through deep diligence on evaluating all these new use cases that we're bringing to the table that don't work within their existing flows, and that Plaid and no, Plaid is not the big partnership announcement, although it's a partnership announcement that we think is pretty big, but it's not it, Kranti. So yeah, we see these. We've got several new ones coming up. One of them is this all 50 state, and actually more than just all 50 states. There'll be some other countries involved in that go live process. I was actually here last night at dinner with one of the partners that we've signed up with, that we've been in due diligence for, man, working on the use cases for quite some time, haven't we, Becky? Yeah, so
Yeah.
not
Yep.
just an online form that you fill out to get access to something. Those aren't the types of partnerships that we highlight here. So yeah, I was just having dinner with their executive team last night, and they're really excited. So we're probably a week or so away from making a couple more announcements. So possibly on the next BankSocial sessions next week, we'll be able to drop some of those names. But some of them are on one of them is on the Hedera Council, which is really cool. Just like Google was on the Hedera Council, and that turned to some really great traction for us. This other one is also on the Hedera Council. So really excited about the traction and the capabilities we're bringing, not just to consumers, but to financial institutions, both here and abroad.
That is awesome. And that was actually one of the questions, so that's perfect. Then a couple more. So we talked about Constellation. Can you give a little bit more around what's happening with that, with the DAG token and the Constellation network?
Yeah, so we've been talking. I know Ben Jorgensen. He was actually very close with John Reed, one of our partners here at BankSocial, years back when John ran the Tech Wildcatters Accelerator. And we've met with Ben several times, as far back as a few years ago, and we've been looking for use cases. It's always important to prioritize which use cases come first, which chains come first. And now that we've gotten cross chain, we've implemented a lot of our initial use cases. We're starting to get into some more use cases. DAG came up. We've seen a lot of great traction, a lot of great support from the DAG community. There's some really interesting use cases. We talked about one of them last week with 5,300 call reports. I won't tell you exactly what we're doing there because there's some cool confidential stuff that we're working on with some people, but certainly the ability to create cross-chain mechanics that provide different use cases that go to support these financial ecosystems is what bringing all these. That's what I was just talking about over here. There, we don't. I just don't see a reality where only one chain does everything, because it's not really the use case. It's certain databases, certain ecosystems. If we look back at just how things have evolved from traditional technology space, we see the same thing happening here. And so creating interoperability, putting the best use case for the appropriate chain, and then making those use cases interoperable. I mean, don't listen to me. We're just a handful of voices. Dr. Lehman Baird says the exact same thing, right? Ripple Labs is part of DREC. DAG, all these guys are part of DREC, the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. And if you go listen to what they're all talking about, they're saying the exact same things. And so this is not just a belief shared by BankSocial. This is a belief that the entire crypto ecosystem shares, at least the people building in the crypto ecosystems and deploying these use cases, because we understand that, it is a thing where, the reality is that Ripple will get a lot of use cases. Hedera will get a lot of use cases. DAG will get a lot of use cases. Bitcoin is getting a lot of use cases. Matic, I'm talking over here to Matic. These chains, they're all out there having great impacts and great engagements that are turning into real use cases. And they've all got teams that are out there working on it. And that's just what's going to happen. And we're seeing that. And so what really becomes, and this is what I said at the conference today, what really becomes the next evolution is to stop talking about what chains and to start talking about what use cases. And the next 500 million, the next billion people to come on these chains, they just want a button to push. That's all they really care about. And so that's how we have to look at the future: is how do we enable more buttons that impact more lives, that push this space forward, and that create all those financial inclusivities, the safety and soundness, all those things that we've been talking about in an interoperable way, in a way where, you look at before, a SQL database and interoperability between SQL database and a DB2 database or a Postgres database, a MySQL database. The interoperability was just not as simple as it is now. The immutability, the transmutability of that data and those assets, it didn't exist in the same way it does now. And when you add the layer of trust, because the people can own the tokens that essentially empower these public rails, you get a whole new layer of how the world will work. The world will work in a whole new way in 24 months. And that's probably the most exciting thing about what's going on right now.
That's awesome. So I want to kind of breeze through. We have about 15 minutes. There's a few questions. We've talked about it before, but someone asked, Central or South America, Caribbean, Africa, global, like where are we going? Like where are we? John, has talked about South America, Africa for sure. Do we want to talk about any of that, or maybe plans to go other places globally?
I think it's still a bit early for that. Not because we're not working on them, but certainly because a lot of that are really, really announcements that we'd like to make as we deliver on these promises. And so just like the Plaid announcement, just like the announcements we'll make here in the next few weeks, the stocks announcement, the reason why we're making the stocks announcement is that it's actually built. We're actually playing with it right now in test. The reason why we made the Solana announcement is because it's built. It's actually in test. It's about to come out. So that's kind of what we're working on. Absolutely looking at LATAM as a big expansion point. Absolutely Africa. Absolutely the EU. But specifically what and when, I think we'll save that for the next few weeks and the next few BankSocial sessions, just so that we can announce things that are here, that are ready to go, that we know are days, or we actually understand a timeline on.
Awesome. Okay. And some people have asked about BankSocial white papers. I know there is one. I'm going to drop some information on that in the verified chat. And then another question about what credit unions what credit unions we've been onboarded to. I mean, some of that is, you can Google it as well. And some, I don't know if anybody wants to expand on the team, but we're not necessarily, we're going to announce some of them, but there's some that obviously, because of the type of product we offer, we're not necessarily going to be promoting those partners. But I don't know. I think it's fair enough to say it is they can Google it, and it is out there. And some is actually on our website. There are even testimonials from some of our credit unions, so it's definitely out there. And to expand on that, we are providing resources for you guys that want to go to your credit unions and ask for some of the services we do provide. So reach out to us. Some people have reached out through Verified, and we're helping them. And Nate, I know you've been really instrumental in that and helping support them reach out to their credit unions. Do you have anything that you want to share around?
Yeah, for sure. So I've seen a lot of other BSL questions in here. My best advice is come join the BankSocial Telegram. The link is in the bio for the general chat. And then if you want to get into the verified chat, reach out on customer support. We'll get you in there. And it's really cool because not only can you get answers to questions, you can actively participate in the BSL DAO and how that moves forward.
On the BSL DAO, I think we kind of teased a really cool announcement. So one of the things we're working on right now is the BSL DAO approved a year or two ago the ability to use some of the lending pool to go to empower exchange volume. And so we're going to be
Always happens like that, doesn't it?
They did though.
I was
Absolutely.
I was born there. I'm used to.
I was letting John drop that alpha. So
Shout out Nate, customer support.
Yeah, shut up.
thank you, everyone. It really is great to interact with you all on customer support. So I do enjoy getting to help out and go on this journey together. Someone said,
You're
"Bro."
awesome. Bruh. He'll be back. He'll definitely be back. But yeah, definitely shout out Nate. I see that here too. There's a
So I'm gonna address the decentralization question. So, credit unions, John and I say all the time that credit unions are analog DeFi. And if you read my book, you'll learn about the history of credit unions where disenfranchised people who were being taken advantage of by moneylenders, basically in Germany in the 1800s, pooled their resources together to help each other, which is the ultimate decentralized financial system, and that's a credit union. So credit unions are democratically controlled by their members, and that's almost exactly like a DAO. A DAO is a digitally native version of a decentralized democratic process. And so I can say that BankSocial definitely supports that model, which is why we really appreciate working with our financial cooperatives. Hey, John, you were right in the middle.
I got
of
cut off right in the middle of it.
dropping the bombs.
So are you going to leave everybody?
So we do have that use.
That's so. My better advice is whenever you travel there, get a SIM card from there.
Yeah, he needs Starlink.
So yeah, the whole liquidity mechanism, the whole exchange mechanism. What'll happen is high level, a small liquidity tranche will be utilized from the lending pool that will go over into a wallet, and then all those transactions will be transparent and on chain. And every time there's a transaction, the BIPs that were approved by the DAO will go into a wallet, and that'll all happen transparently on chain. So really, really cool. And we're really excited about that because that's a use case that's been a long time in the making and finally able to roll that out, which is exciting.
All right, we have a few more minutes. The dashboard update, John, I know that's something we're working on in the background, the one stop for the dashboard from the DAO side, right? Okay, so that's in the works.
It's not really a DAO it's not really a not really a DAO dashboard, more of just a expansion into the wallet and into the web. Has a DAO component so that the DAO has some, when you connect your wallet, when your wallet, you sign in, when you have BSL, there will be components that open up inside the wallet for DAO community members only. but I wouldn't call it just exclusively a DAO standalone thing that you have to go and figure out how to use as a DAO member. It'll be incorporated into the BankSocial experience natively for DAO members that have tokens.
Okay. All right. Great. I think this was a wonderful live. I'm going to kind of leave it up to the group. Is there anything we kind of want to leave everyone with until next week? This was amazing. Thank you guys all for jumping on. John from Mexico. But yeah, do you guys have anything you want to leave the community with before we sign off?
So Armando, we are a third-party service provider for both the Federal Reserve, the FedNow, and for the clearinghouse RTP. So we've been certified for a while.
Yeah, and then
I'll
there's a
just say
question
real-
about the BSL token. So, go ahead, Justin. They said you smiled, Justin.
I do once in a while. Once in a while. Now, I just want to tell the community there was a question there about what we're seeing for victims. A lot of it is people clicking links, and a lot of it is people going on Discord and believing that they're talking with somebody that they're not, and then getting DM'd into clicking a link and wanting flare tokens, and then putting their seed phrase into these links. And just wanted to say, never enter your seed phrase into these links. Don't click suspicious links, and always be suspicious if people are DMing you or asking you to do things in a hastily manner. And just be safe and vigilant out there. And always reach out to us at BankSocial. We're willing to help anyone on any chain, on any platform. Just call us and we'll be happy to help. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, can you smile
Justin,
again?
I
Someone
wanted to
said.
just maybe.
Yeah, we're going to do a screenshot of Justin smiling. There you go. Take the
I
screenshot,
got
guys.
it.
He's smiling. And actually, you can sign up for Secure Essentials, and you're automatically covered. And if something happens, you just click the button in your app, and you get right to our recovery team. So it's real easy.
And I wanted to expand on some of the things we're seeing there. If you guys, can you hear me right now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. So Justin, I think
Yes.
we've seen a lot of Reddit threads. We've seen a lot of fake Reddit threads. We've seen a lot of phishing attempts with fake links that are being put up, fake images that are being put up to try to entice people to click on fake information. We would recommend staying away from Reddit threads. Generally, I mean, you can go on Reddit threads, but try to avoid clicking on, um, um, you know, um, things that appear to be too good to be true, or things that are trying to make claims that are outrageous claims. We've seen tons of phishing expeditions that end in, look, there was just a 0-day hack the other day that is getting exploited. Sandboxing in websites, sandboxing in browsers is getting exploited. 0-day sandbox exploits. So don't click on every link you see. Reddit is a cesspool for bad links. Certainly, the wallet can protect you a bit from those kinds of things with Secure Essentials, but it can't protect you 100%. You've got to protect yourself from some of these things. And I think we've seen more phishing attempts on Reddit than even on Twitter. And so just be vigilant out there when you're on sites like Reddit, and especially when you're being presented with outrageous information that makes you want to click on a link. Think twice. We've seen a lot of on certain chains. We've seen a lot of airdrops that turn into things that are also outrageous, that are fantastical. They prey on your want to have a quick win, or think you're missing out on something. Anytime you see something like that come up, anytime you see something that feels too good to be true, I guarantee you it is. Just step back, just think about it. But we're seeing a lot of airdrop scams. We're seeing a lot of NFT airdrop scams, and we're seeing a lot of phishing scams. And these are not phishing scams where you have to put in your information either. These are phishing scams where you click on a link. There's embedded JavaScript. that breaks through the sandboxing mechanism via 0-day hacks that are in JavaScript, the JavaScript virtual machine. A lot of them have been patched, but they're always being looked at. Yeah, emotional attack vectors. So just stay diligent. Just keep your mind and your wits about you when you see these types of things happen, because that's what they prey on. They prey on that moment in time. They prey on that outrageous claim and trying to get you to make a move based on something that seems too fantastical to be true.
John, I think you were going to answer a question about BSL tokens before we got into that discussion.
Yeah, just really quickly, the BSL token powers a whole host of things. The thing that we didn't want to do when the DAO created the BSL token and we first imagined kind of how it would work is create one of these fantastical scenarios where 20% interest, 50% interest, 120% interest. I've seen some protocols that are paying you to lend to borrow money. It's like, okay, when you see these types of things, you got to think about the economics of how does that actually work, right? How do the economics work on something like that? How does 30%, 40% interest? And when you start to dig into it, you see that there are manipulated token pairs, manipulated token interest income streams, token minting situations where more tokens are being fabricated out of thin air, diluting other shares, but not really diluting them in the DEX pool immediately. So we didn't want to substantiate any type of liquidity mechanism like that. And so the BSL token is driven all off of DAO mechanics that actually result in real streams of sustainable economic flywheels. And so you get that with things like lending real money to real businesses. You get that with utilizing liquidity for exchange mechanisms that can be verified on chain. And there's really an endless amount of those mechanisms that we can deploy. We're looking at even more with the DAO right now, but those are some of the early ones and some of the ways that we've created economic flywheels that are sustainable and that are not backed by hype, that are not backed by fantastical ideas and token minting schemes that result in more dilution or result in the complete economic breakdown of a financial flywheel.
All right, great. Well, we're at time. Thanks everybody for joining. We're going to be back again next week, same time, 2 p.m. John probably won't be in Mexico, but he might be somewhere else. Becky might be in Mexico. Somebody will probably be.
I will be in a couple places next week. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Again,
I got to run. I got to go catch a flight.
Bye, John.
Peace out.
Bye, John.
All the love and power. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All right. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Bye, guys.